Welcome to the Enjoy More 30s Family Finance Podcast, the only podcast dedicated to making life more enjoyable for young families by hitting on the financial topics that tend to weigh on us, stress us out, and distract our focus from simply enjoying life.
Hello and welcome to the next episode of this Raising Your Investment Mindset series. This series, we're trying to help reframe how you may view the scary word out there called investments, and therefore be able to utilize them in a more constructive way, better reach your goals, and make life more enjoyable. As always, if you like what you're hearing, please make sure to subscribe or follow us on Apple Podcasts or really wherever you listen. Clicking stars, leaving reviews, it helps us reach the millions of other young families out there that are just like you. Last week, we discussed how what political party happens to be in power across the different Congress or president tends to have very little correlation to how the stock market performs, as well as the certainty versus uncertainty elements that most certainly do. So if you haven't checked out that episode yet, definitely do that soon. Today's episode is titled Hollywood Stock Market, where we're going to break down how what you are shown in movies and TV can really contribute a big part to the negative perceptions, the uneasiness that many people wind up having towards investments. The goal for today's episode, so the if you can say this at the end of the episode, then you have succeeded statement, is I recognize what can greatly affect many people's perceptions of investments. I recognize what can greatly affect many people's perceptions of investments. Now, when I see a fishing boat, I see fun. I see adventure. I see camaraderie, excitement, challenge. When my wife Lauren sees a fishing boat, she sees stinky, smelly fish. So perceptions can certainly be different. Hollywood is amazing at exasperating these perceptions that we have in whatever direction they want. If you watch The Perfect Storm, you see the valor, the courage, the determination of the fishermen. If you watch Sea Piracy, you see the greed, waste, the atrocities of the fishing industry. So both can have you leaving with very strong, but somewhat opposite, in this case, perceptions that you take with you. The thing is, for the investment industry, they only make movies about stinky, smelly fish. If you Google top stock or investment movies, you'll see things like Wall Street, Boiler Room, Wolf of Wall Street, maybe The Big Short. What do all of these movies have in common? They all involve people stealing, swindling, and doing otherwise quite unscrupulous things to other unsuspecting investors. None are about great people, helping other people reach their goals, not Hollywood worthy. I guess I wouldn't sell positivity, but, so I get that there's no news like bad news, but this is the only reference point that many people receive. If finances are not being taught in school and money is taboo to discuss at home and really in society at large, these types of movies are the main reference point, again, that many people have. Perhaps even more concerning, it can be a point of inspiration for some individuals out there to get involved in the industry in the first place. I've actually interviewed candidates before for my firm that have expressed that movies like Wall Street were really the starting point of their inspiration to want to get involved in stocks and this investing world. Gordon Gekko is your inspiration? The guy who tries to strip down Blue Star Airlines? Anybody out there who wants to be in this industry, do not use that as a conversation point. Stealing money from other people is not what we're looking for in this industry. So why I find this so bothersome is that I've seen this kind of concept put people off from using investments. If you just park all the money under your mattress, it's going to take you substantially longer, to say the least, to reach your goals, or even worse, and probably more likely, cause you to never reach them at all. I've shared before how we've had clients come in at retirement and all their money is just sitting in cash because they were afraid of investments. Stable value just sounded safer. They've heard of people losing everything in the movies. They haven't heard of people missing out on retirement by being too conservative in the movies, though. And they will wonder, hey, why does my friend, my coworker, have 5 times more than I do, even though we started at the same time. They, now can either not retire or they have to retire in a very stripped down way. And I hate the thought of that happening to other people out there, even though I know it must, that it does, but I hate the thought of it nonetheless. It also puts people off from having an advisor altogether. Now, I absolutely love my job. I love it. I love helping people. I know a lot of other advisors out there who do as well. Are there bad advisors out there? Absolutely, 100%. Just like there are bad accountants, bad doctors, and everything else. Look for someone who is comprehensive, though. Look for someone who focuses on planning more than anything else, though, not investments, but planning, and you're likely to wind up in very good hands with more clarity and greater chance to reach your goals and making life more enjoyable. As we get to the end of this episode, I want you to think about what your views may be about investments right now. Are they positive? Are they negative? Are they maybe opportunistic? Are they fearful? And think about how you may have gotten to where your mindset is today. It didn't just pop up out of the blue. It developed to where it is today. And then think about what mindset you might want your kids to have about it. So if we circle back around to the goal statement for today, if you can say, I recognize what can greatly affect many people's perceptions of investments, then you've succeeded in the main takeaway from today. So thanks as always for tuning in. Join us for next week's episode called Winners and Losers Are Temporary, where we're going to cover how just like every dog has its day, every area of the market tends to have its time to lead, and how to emotionally make the most of that fact. So overall, if you're able to implement what we covered today, that's fantastic as always. You have less to worry about than before, and you can focus more on enjoying life. If you are wanting help with these things, though, have questions, need something clarified, check out the Ask Joe section on the show's website, enjoymore30s.com, and you can also connect with me directly by visiting my wealth management firm site, New Horizons Wealth Management at nhwmllc.com. Until next week, thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon.
The conversations on this show are Joe's opinions and provided for general information purposes only. They do not constitute accounting, legal, tax, or other professional advice for your specific situation. You should always seek appropriate advice from a financial advisor, accountant, lawyer, or other professional before acting upon any content or information found here first. Joe is affiliated with New Horizons Wealth Management LLC, a branch office of TFS Securities Inc. and TFS Advisory Services, an SEC-registered investment advisor, member FINRA/SIPC.